Raise your hand if you've ever typed out a Slack message, stared at it for 30 seconds, deleted an exclamation point, added a smiley face, deleted that smiley face, then hit the send button, still terrified you sound like a robot, or worse, a tyrant. We all do it. We live in a digital-first workplace. Our voice isn't how we speak in meetings anymore. It's the sum total of thousands of emails, direct messages, and comments scattered across the internet. But here's the thing. You know what you mean to say, but do you know how it landed? Today, we're going to close the gap between your intent and your impact. We're going to take your digital exhaust, your past emails and messages, and feed them into a large language model. Not to judge you, but to hold up a mirror. We're going to find out if your digital leadership voice is leaning towards decisive, collaborative, or perhaps just a little too efficient. And most importantly, how to tune that voice to skyrocket your career influence. Let's dive in. First off, a quick disclaimer. When I say leadership voice, I am not just talking to the CEOs or VPs watching this. If you have to convince a colleague to help you with a project, you are leading. If you need to update a stakeholder on a delay without causing panic, you are leading. In the modern workplace, leadership isn't a title, it's influence. And your influence is capped by how well you communicate in text. Everyone has a default setting on this spectrum. Maybe you're naturally highly collaborative. People love working with you, but sometimes your actual directives get lost in the sea of polite padding. Or maybe you're naturally decisive and efficient. You get things done fast, but perhaps people sometimes mistake your brevity for frustration. Neither of these is bad. But the most successful careers are built by people who can move that slider intentionally, depending on the situation. The goal today is awareness. You can't tune an instrument if you can't hear the notes. Okay. Before we open ChatGPT or Claude and start pasting our life's work into it, we need a very serious safety briefing. Do not, I repeat, do not paste sensitive company data, financial results, specific client names, or proprietary code into a public LLM. AI models are often trained on the data you provide, and your company's secrets are not meant to be part of that training set. Please make sure that you understand what you can and cannot share. Before you analyze anything, you need to sanitize it. Strip out all personally identifiable information. If you're analyzing a tough email you sent about Project Pegasus, change it to Project Donut or another name. We are analyzing tone and structure, not the specific content. Be smart, keep your job. Okay. Safety briefing over. Let's get to the good stuff. To get a real baseline of your style, you need a decent sample size. Go into your sent folder or your direct message history with a close collaborator. Grab 5 to 10 varied messages. Some where you were asking for something, some where you were delivering news, some casual check-ins. Sanitize them and compile them into a single document. Now, the magic is in the prompt. If you just say, analyze this, the AI will give you a generic summary. We need to force it to adopt a specific persona. So we're going to use what I call the communications coach persona. Here is the exact prompt structure I recommend. You are an expert executive communications coach with decades of experience in organizational psychology. I am going to provide you with a series of recent emails and messages I sent to colleagues. Please analyze these messages for my leadership voice based on 3 dimensions: clarity and decisiveness, collaboration and warmth, directness versus diplomacy. Provide a summary of my perceived default style. Highlight strengths and note areas where my tone might be misinterpreted by different personality types. Keep the tone constructive and professional. See the difference? We gave it a role. We define the criteria and we ask for perception, not judgment. Now paste your sanitized text below the prompt and hit enter. The output you get here is usually astonishingly accurate. It's going to identify patterns you never noticed. It generally breaks down into 3 main vibes. Vibe number 1, the decisive voice. The AI might tell you that you use short sentences, bullet points, and clear calls to action. The pro, people know exactly what you want and you move fast. The potential blind spot, if overused, this can feel transactional, and the AI might suggest adding connective tissue to soften the edges in sensitive situations. Vibe number 2, the collaborative voice. The AI might note a lot of phrases like, "What do you think?" or "Perhaps we could," or lots of exclamation points and supportive language. The pro, you build psychological safety. People feel heard. The potential blind spot, you might be burying the lead. The AI might tell you that your desire for consensus is obscuring your actual directive. You might sound less confident than you actually are. Vibe 3, the analytical or highly direct voice. This is common in technical fields. It's focused purely on the data, the error, or the task. The pro, incredible efficiency and clarity in complex topics. However, the potential blind spot, the absence of social markers can sometimes be misread as coldness, even if you're just being focused. Okay, so now you have your analysis. Maybe you found out you're a bit more transactional than you intended to be. Now what? You don't need a personality transplant. You just need some tiny adjustments. This is my favorite trick. Take an email you're about to send that feels a little tricky. Let's say you need to tell a project manager that their deadline is unrealistic. You draft it. The 5th is impossible. We need until the 10th because the data isn't ready. It's clear, but sharp. Now, ask the AI. Here is a draft message. Please rewrite this option to sound more collaborative while maintaining firm boundaries on the deadline. Same boundary, totally different vibe. You're using the AI to role-play different approaches before you press send in the real world. Analyzing your own communication patterns can be a little uncomfortable. It takes courage to look in that mirror. But here's the truth. Your technical skills get you hired. Your communication skills get you promoted. By using these tools to understand how you're perceived, you stop crossing your fingers and hoping your message lands correctly. You start communicating with intention. You ensure that the brilliant ideas in your head aren't getting lost in translation on their way to the keyboard. Give this a try this week. Grab 5 emails, sanitize them, and see what the communications coach persona has to say about your style. Let me know in the comments below, were you surprised by your results? Did you turn out to be more decisive or more collaborative than maybe you thought? If you found this helpful, hit that like button. The algorithm then knows to share this with others, people looking to also level up their careers. Thanks for watching and happy communicating.